It's going to be an amazing day. Yes, deck clock. Hey guys. Whee! What a day. Gotta love it. Fixing to rock this thing. Yo. Yep. Scared the hell out of myself. That's right. I love that. I love that dog more than my kids. Well, no, somebody went into my room. I know who it was, and who knows? Either way, fucking, they don't pay attention because they're dumb Indians. They asked me today. They go, "Are you good with native people?" I go, "Why?" They go, "Because we have a lead that we can't sell." I'm like, "Well, fuck yeah, aren't you good with Mexicans, especially illegals?" He goes, "I'm not illegal." And I said, "Then you're not good with the illegals, but you are good with the Mexicans that live here, right?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "What a fucking question to ask." I just giving him a hard time. He wasn't mad. He laughed. He thought that was funny as hell. Go ahead and make me go live. I don't know. Yeah, you can make it the top of the hour. All right. What else is going on? No, you want to ask Adam because Adam will call him and he'll answer Adam. He's got he's got lots and lots and lots of people that are asking him to do shit. You know what I mean? So once we do this first one, this is what they used to do in the biz op business. They used to get people to do this, you know, but it was all a scam back then. So I told Dennis, I said, "You're going to be in line after Faith. We're going to do a couple of these," and then I told Kim Haverstock he's going to be in line after that, and they'll all go under your umbrella. Well, I don't know how to do that yet, but there ain't no reason why, you know, that couldn't be our arm of the business, and you be the owner of that arm of the business. You know, so it's all good in the hood. We'll figure it out, and you know, you've earned your spot here with me forever. I'm, I'm gonna make you rich as fuck. So yeah, let's do it together, man. Yeah. Let's do it with the Italians. Shit. Y'all y'all deserve everything y'all get. I mean, it's all the same. Kill somebody. Yeah. I told I told what's his name, the guy who owns the company, Jose. He was wanting to do some kind of slick bullshit like give me free advertising and we'll share. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Mm-hmm. I said, no, we're not doing that. I said, you're gonna pay for it because that's the way you do everything else you do. You're gonna pay, and then all that revenue is yours. I'm not sharing in your revenue. You're keeping your revenue. Now I may sell some for you, and if I sell, I want to get paid for selling, but I'll help you grow your business down there, and you don't have to pay me for that part because it benefits me. All I want you to do is help me with being an anchor, but you got to pay. He goes, I'm down. I'm down. There ain't nothing free in business, man. Mm-mm. I need a sub. I'm on already. I'm live. Whee! It'd be nice if you get those things so I can put them up on the wall and turn my camera. No. Or you just didn't fill out the application. 11 or something like that cases with the big bottles. And dummy me, no, no. What I said was I'll get it Saturday. He said they may not be here Saturday, and sure enough, that was a Thursday. I came in 2 days later. I was going to buy that whole pallet back there, and it was gone. He knew what the hell he was talking. I said, "What the hell? What happened?" He said, "I told you. I told you to get it. You didn't want to listen. You wanted to wait." I go, "Oh boy." I was mad for a year at him. Also told him to buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin was, I think it was like $3 grand. He had 100 grand. Yeah, it wasn't much. I think I was just trying to get a blowjob back then or something. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I pretty much left you alone. I didn't even bug you. After you, I went on to I kept going. Yeah, I kept going. They were coming fast and furious after I got that penthouse. Duh. Yeah. I'm giving Jose some a little bit of anyway, he likes having me here. That lady was listening in on her Zoom camera, ring camera. Yeah, that was so cool. They were all talking about it today, and I'm like, "Come and cut it out." She had cut it out. I said, "You wish." I said, "You guys wish you had the balls to talk like that." I said, "Once you learn to do that, you're going to be okay, and you don't even have to get that crazy." I was laughing with the guy. I was joking with him. You know what I mean? Wasn't serious. She's more mad at him. That's what women do, and when their men are alcoholics, they take up for them. My daughter-in-law did that with my son. She just kept lying for him and taking up for him until CPS came in, took the kids away, and I said, "Nope, I'm not helping you a bit. Let them take it." Boy, they're still mad at me for that. I'm like, "I don't care. See you later. I'm not taking them little bastards. I don't even like you guys. Why would I take them?" Anyway, my priest said I was a bad man. He said, "I can't believe you talk that way. It's just awful. You're awful." I'm like, "Yep, I know. What can I do? Can't sing or dance. That's the way it is." Oh, he told me, he said, "You're just an awful human." I said, "Well, here's another one for you." I said, "The best part of my kids ran down their mama's leg." I said, "Fuck. Can't believe I had them little bastards. If I could give two of them back, I would." He's like, "You're just an awful human." Well, what do you want me to do? If I can't tell you, you're my priest. If I can't tell you, who can I confess to? He goes, "Well, you got that. Okay, you got me there." You got me there. All right. Oh, Bitcoin's at 63,000. Interesting. I may have my first sale. thought I was gonna have one today. Well, I didn't have a lead today, and then I went with one of the guys so he could have a. You know, it means that when you show up in a company truck, these guys have these old beat up cars like my van, and when you show up in something like that, they look at you and go, "Oh, it's Chuck in a truck, or it's Dan in a van." You know, they're not against you, but they're not expecting premium pricing either. You know, they're like, "Okay, all right, I know what I'm getting here." So anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I got 3 minutes. What are you doing tonight? You sound better.
Well, yeah, I had that vitamin IV, but now I'm kind of feeling a little, I don't know, like I had too much of it. It's giving me a real bad headache, but that's okay. I know, I feel like it was just a true, really bad virus. So, it runs its course 7 to 10 days, and God, I couldn't imagine that. The sneezing and the coughing, and there was nothing there. I can't even explain it. It was almost like your membranes or something. I don't know. Like I said, it kind of reminded me of COVID.
Mm-hmm. You need something to offset that.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you need something to offset it, like some vitamin semen.
Some vitamin D.
Yeah, you need some vitamin D.
Some euthanasia.
I don't get that one.
Right. Alrighty.
Hokey dokey, yoki
Alright. I'll be
pokey.
here in a minute. I'll see you live here in a few minutes.
All right, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Picking buggers. And there you go. Okay, let's do it. I can't see where spit.
Yeah.
And hello, Texas. Don't turn that dial. This is the Fly Mackey Show. And I'm your host, Fly Mackey. I can see my big head on there. Anyway, hello, Corpus Christi and Houston, College Station, Beaumont, and Lake Charles, Louisiana. We're trying to keep this thing a rolling. Holy cow. Good things are happening. We're fixing to catch up. I'm telling you, it's going to get insane. Oh, boy. Let me turn my camera up just a little bit. My monitor. That's the way it works. Or I can move the monitor. That's interesting. I'm learning. I love to play with this stuff. Oops. And there we go. A lot going on in the crypto world today. Bitcoin hitting 63,000. Let's take a look at that. It is moving. I'm telling you, it is moving. Let's look at Bitcoin. You see me on the screen over there. That's what it looks like. Now I'm looking at my monitor here. And then let me turn this way right here. There you go. I gotta wipe this down too. This thing is a mess. Oh yeah, that works great. And I didn't turn on the big cameras. I just got the little ones going today. And we're in Mackey Studios. That's at my grandma's house today. And we're broadcasting there live. It is amazing what's going on. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick. But first, before we do that, let's look at the US debt clock. I'm telling you, this stuff is amazing. Amazing. If you're not in debt, you're not even playing the game. These guys put the big Ponzi scheme up here because they're talking about the $35 trillion since 1913 to 1924. $35 trillion. It was 20 million in 1920. In 2008, it was 16 billion. 65 billion. Charlie Ponzi, 20 million in 1920. Bernie Madoff, 65 billion in 2008. You want to know the biggest Ponzi schemes? That's what they're doing. They had a guy named Charlie Ponzi. That's how they came up with the name, the Ponzi schemes. Charlie's Ponzi in 1920 did a Ponzi scheme for 20 million. Bernie Madoff for 65 billion. Our U.S. government for 35 trillion, and we're letting them get away with it. And every time, hold on one second. There it is right here. 20 million in 1920 for Charlie Ponzi. 65 billion Bernie Madoff in 2008. $35 trillion in the last 109 years or 111 years. The U.S. government has Ponzi schemed us for $35 trillion. And we keep voting these people back in. Republicans are just as nasty as the Democrats. They're all liars. Most of them can't get credit cards. Half a dozen of them have been in jail for wife beating. Dozens of them have been arrested for DUI. About a third of them or so, give or take, have had 2 bankruptcies or more and can't get a credit card. The half of them or a third of them have the credit scores down in the 400s, and we keep electing these people, and they say that Trump is the problem. The Republicans say that the Democrats are the problem. You know, they go back and forth and back and forth. Definitely, the Democrats have done more damage for sure. And I'm voting Republican all the way down the line because I have to. I'm not voting my conscience for any moron out there because they're all scammers, in my opinion. Am I voting Republican? Yes. Do I agree with everything? No. But I agree more with the Republicans than close the borders. You have to have safety. I believe in the Second Amendment, First Amendment, free speech. You have to be able to talk. Now they're trying to arrest people for it. You have to be able to defend yourself. I'm against abortion at any time, ever. 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 I'm against killing babies, for sure. I'm against all these wars. Here it is. Young men from different countries killing each other who don't even know each other for old men who do know each other. Wake up, man. I like it that Trump didn't have any wars. Now Biden hadn't even really, but you know, of course, you got the Ukraine stuff. But either way, yeah, I should. That was a misstep. But Ukraine for sure. Yeah, no, that came under Biden. Trump's like the only president in like 40, 50 years that hadn't started some kind of conflict. You know, instead of giving all the money to the war, he just spent $1 trillion for America. What a great novel idea. So you don't kill millions of people, you don't blow up babies and women and innocent men and women and grandma and grandpa in other countries. You don't get them pissed at it. Instead, we spend $1 trillion on our own military. Isn't that a novel idea? So in this last war, Ukrainian war, you got all the industrial war complex selling hundreds of billions of dollars to overseas, to other countries for weaponry. And then you get the biggest companies in the world that get the contracts. Who do you think got the contracts to rebuild Ukraine when that war is over? Well, BlackRock, State Street. I mean, come on, man. 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 Biggest Ponzi schemes ever. 20 million, that's how they named the Ponzi scheme. 65 billion, Bernie Madoff. But the US government, $35 trillion, and we keep letting it happen. I could fix this deficit in 5 minutes. The first time they go over 3% GDP, then you make it that every sitting congressman and senator is not, well, Congress is in charge of the, not the Senate. The Senate does vote too, but every single congressman and senator is not that's up for reelection is not eligible to run. That's how you fix it. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin here. And you see here what's that? Oh, $64,000. Woo! It made its way through. Well, that's where it's really at right here. You could really take this one right here, like this. Right there. And then you could take this one down just a little bit, like that. Bam, bam. Hit the top of these two, hit this one, hit the top of this one. This looks like it's trying to make a run. And I think we're going to have a run. We're probably going to have a run. Yeah. We're probably going to have a run coming up here in October. We'll see, but you can see here. Let's take a bigger look at it. This is what it looks like right this second. It could be something like this, maybe not, but kind of. Maybe right there. You start at the bottom of this one right here, where it started to make its ascending up right here, and then right here on the 26th of February, and you see here it hit the bottom of this candle here, which was a big sell-off day. That's August of this year, and then it hit the bottom of this candle on August 6th, and then hit the bottom of this one on September 9th, and started his ascension going up. It went from 54,000 up to 63, so almost for $10,000, and it's moving right now. You see it's selling. You see over here, it's going up and down and up and down, just a few dollars. You see here where it's ascending down or descending. It's on its way down. You can see it's traveling within this lane right here. That's a more pure lane this way, but that's not really the way it works. You hit it at the high when it hit its all-time high, and then where it's going now on this candle here. See here on May 21st, it hit the top of this candle, and then it went just above it this here on June 5th and 6th, and then on July 29th, it hit the top of this candle, and it's been ascending or descending, excuse me. And now it's trying to make a run up right now. Let's see what happens. It really is trying to make it. It's really trying to make it here. See, if you go across the board here, it's at the very bottom. Look at this. It's at the bottom of these two, where it went up and made its ascension up to the all-time high. You see this? Right at the bottom, right there. It's just above it. You can see the line right there. You see that? It's on this one right here on February 27th, and I'm trying to keep it simple. Let's take a look at that. Hold on a second. So you see here, right? Right there, bam, right on the money. Bam. Woo, 62,195. So right across, it went across these three these three candles here. And then this is where it started making its ascension up. It's really closer though, really, if you do it right here. 63 63,000 right here on this candle here on March 6th. If you take this all the way across, and this is about where it's at right here, there's a more, not a more pure line, but this is pretty close. See, it hit the top of this candle here on the 29th, the bottom of these two candles here on March 5th and 6th, and then it started making its ascension up to its all-time high of 73,000. Look at this here. And then it started making its descension down on May 21st and July 29th. Where it hit the top of these candles here, hit the bottom of these here on the 5th. Isn't that crazy? Look at this. Was that on the 5th? Okay, the 5th of March. The 5th of March, it hit the bottom here where it went down to about 58,000, and then it also started making its ascension up that day as well. That was an amazing day for trading. That was about a $10,000 day. When you have a $10,000 day trading day with Bitcoin, that's volatility. That's a lot of movement. Yeah. Oof, a lot of going on, man. A lot going on. This is amazing stuff right here. Let's take just a little bit more time and then we're going to get off of this. But this is the daily chart. Let's take a look at what it looks like for the week. Oh boy, look at that. Wow. Whew. Now this one makes more sense on the weekly chart if you go like this. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Oh boy. On the weekly chart, you see here where it hits the bottom of that right there. Okay. On the week of the 18th of March, the week of the 15th of April, it cut right at the first week of July. You see the bottom here, it hit that candle right there. And then the very bottom, it hit the bottom on September 2nd. And this is the lane that is traveling. Look at that. It's obvious to see this lane. There's just no doubt about it. You had the all-time high right here. You could also take this. You could go something like this, but not really. This is a more pure lane. You see there where there's it's an even lane. It doesn't really work that way, but you can see where it's traveling right here. It's going to be more like this right here. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So it hit the all-time high at 73,500 and some change. And then again on the week of May 20th, and then the week of July 29th. That was a, that was a $12,000 day. Wow, right? 50, 57 to 69. Yeah, that was a $12,000 day, but this is more pure what it really looks like. You could do something similar to this. See how it hits those two, those three? That's a pretty pure one. You could actually go something like that. Not really. Not really. We'd hit the bottom of this one. The bottom of this one right here just barely misses this one. So no, that's not really how that works. Put that up right there. So it hits the bottom of this candle here on the week of March the 4th for that week, and then over here on the week of September 2nd, which once again is a key day because a lot of indicators are being touched on September 2nd. And you look at here, bam, wow. And so now you have this is more like this right here. If you really wanted to look at it that way. Ooh, look at that. So there's lots of ways to touch this baby. I mean, a lot of ways. Look at this. Oh, wow. Look at that. Ooh. And then you could come down more, something like that. You see that? So it hits the bottom of this candle here. It starts making its way up. March 6th, 5th and 6th was the vital date. And then it starts making its ascension, goes below the line here, and then starts making its way again on the 23rd of October of last year. And then it's been above this line here, this channel line, for since October 23rd of last year, and it's stayed up there. Now it's tried to come back down. As a matter of fact, the week of July 29th, it touched that line. It tried to come through, and it did come through. No, 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 no. Right there. So it hits the bottom of that. Ooh. You want to see something really magnificent. Take it all the way back here for when it made its first big move right here on August 14th or so, to August 7th to 14th of 17, where it started going up into and I was just talking to Faith about this, about the $300 range. Wow. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Wow. And then you see here how it's been going up ever since. Now, did it try to go to the moon? Yes. Did it try to come back down? Yes. But overall, and you look at where it's at today, and really this chart is more like that because that's the all-time high. And you see here what it's done. This is just amazing. It's beautiful to watch what's actually happened here. I mean, this is just beautiful, man. But we're heading to 95,000, I think, and we may hit that this next month. Don't quote me on that, but I think that we're going to be heading to some all-time highs here. We could be. I don't know. I think we have an opportunity to hit some all-time highs. That's really how that works right there. See, it traveled in this lane right here. And what this is going to do, guys and gals, is if you see here, it's going to open up a huge, huge lane here for trading. Right there. Now it's going to leave a lot of room for growth here. That's about that is a 60 that's about a 29 right here. Now we've already passed this. That's June of 29. It had about a $30,000 movement that it could have done, but it didn't. Matter of fact, it came back down here on March 11th and it started descending down. Do you see this? Now, will it stay here? Don't think so. Well, we're coming up into a bear season, so who knows what's going to happen here? But I think you could take when it came back right here. Uh, and you see here, I don't know if that's the right mark to look at. Well, you see here where it was traveling in this lane here, had a lot of room to go up, and then it got squeezed right here and then came down. It tried to make it up in here, and then here's where it had its chance to go up to the moon again, but it came back down. It got squeezed. See this? It got squeezed into this cone and started going down. Now we're looking at where it's starting to move up again. So let's see what happens. I don't know. This is pretty cool to see. You know, who knows what's going to happen here. I mean, who knows? But you see here, it's ascending, it's descending, and it's trying to make its way out of here. Now let's just take a look one more time. And this isn't really such a good line. That's probably closer to it, right? There. I'll leave this line because it's descending down, and you can see that it is descending down. Now we're on a weekly chart here, so I could take this on the all-time high and go like this. That would be a more pure all-time high, and where it is the beginning of this week is trying to make it out of here. And if it does, and it comes above this mark right here of 64,000, then we could be seeing some, back up into the 60s, traveling up into the 60s. Look, as it's going this way, we could see all-time highs as early as January 20th. We could. Is it going to? Don't know. But we could see highs as early as January. All the way up into the $95,000 range, which I've charted it at, 95,200, give or take, as early as January 2026. If it stayed in this lane here, you got to see the angle, this trajectory here. This trajectory in this lane right here doesn't allow it to go to the moon, but it does allow it to go all the way up to 108, 110,000. I mean, it could go as high as 120,000, really, 126,000. But you're not looking until July of 29 before that, if it stayed in this lane right here. If it stayed in this lane. If it goes in this lane where it hasn't traveled very much at all, it could hit, 120,000 as early as October 2026. Here is June of 2026, October 2026. But once again, it has a big old wide range here. It could actually hit it about as early as March of next year. If it stays in this lane, it's going to go a little bit slower. and you're probably not looking till July of 2027 before it hits 104, 105,000. You see that? You see that? This is a slower lane right here, but it's trying to travel in that lane. And it's trying to make its way back up. So let's see. It would have to make all new highs up into the $8,000, $80,000 range as early as we're already over here. September, it has to like September 23rd, which is only a few days. I don't see that happening. I don't see it going to 89,000, but it could. You never can tell. It's making an effort to do it right now. It's at $63,789. It could make it up to 77. It could make it up to 79,000 as early as, well, no, as early as November. In July, it could make it up to 88, give or take, 98,000 as early as March of 2026, if it stays in this lane. It's not even in this lane yet. I mean, a lot of stuff going on, guys and gals. Oh boy. You see my jugs back here. I got all my paperwork. We're in the great house of Grandma. I miss Grandma so much. She was, ooh. Grandma was an amazing human. That's all I got to say. An amazing human. I got sober because of her. She said, "You're not cut out like the rest of them." A1 Solutions out of Phoenix, Arizona, is sponsoring this segment. Of course, they're in tech. They're in Arizona, not the Houston market, but they're coming there. So you could call them in advance and ask them. They can do an electronic estimate right now of your house and get it almost to the letter what it's going to cost you. I mean, almost to the number. They would have to have a project manager come out and see you. But I'm so good at it now. Of course, I'm bragging on myself. But they are so good right now. I'm not, but they are at giving you a quote of what it would cost you, that almost to the penny. They're pretty good. Jose Camacho and his crew are pretty smart guys. And some gals over there. Don't forget Roxette and the rest of the ladies. Them folks, what's crazy is when they go to work, you don't see them on their cell phones. I'm going to brag about them a little bit. They're a licensed, bonded, insured, manufactured, install roofing contractor. And these guys and gals, you do not see them. I've been in their office many times. You don't see them on their cell phones. They are working. It's incredible. They're working. They're not goofing around on social media. They're not talking to their friends and family. They're not goofing, or they don't take hours on. They don't come in late, and they come in early. They stay late. They do the things other people don't want to do. In my business, if you're looking for credit, go down there and click on the smartmoneyculture.tv. We have a pretty specific agenda, and that is to ask you some questions and get a picture of what your credit looks like, and then do an assessment. And then when you're doing that assessment, then we have to sit down and go over it. And that's the worst part of all of this. Some of it's easy. People who make good money are the hardest ones to get to understand this stuff because they think they've done it all themselves. and they think the way they're doing it is fine. That's perfectly fine. No big deal. And then you have those who are really delusional because they think they deserve credit, but they hadn't paid their bills on time. If you don't pay your bills on time, your credit scores are going to go down. If you have too much debt, your credit scores are going to go down. You're not owed anything. They owe you nothing. Zero. Nothing. So what does that mean? That means that if somebody screwed up your life, who do you think that was? Well, it's you, of course. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you're going to have to work at cleaning up what you did to yourself. Nobody is owed anything. So what we do is getting back to the specific, I got way off, getting back to our specific agenda. And then after we do what is more important than what kind of credit cards you get or the amounts of credit you get, it's the company that's doing the work for you. Yeah. Yeah. If you had a chief financial officer and you're paying them, you know, a couple of $100,000 a year, they're going to line out your business. They're going to hire the right people, the right contractors. They're going to talk to the right bankers. They know exactly what to do to get you the credit that you need to run your business. Okay? That's why they're called chief financial officers. But what's more important, we found what's been more important than the cost of our services or even the amounts that they get. It's the company that does the work. And even though that takes a couple of minutes, it's the most important part. And then we will go shopping for credit. And there's a variety of different credit you can go after, from the home equity line of credit to the business line of credit to the uh, personal line of credit to 0% business credit cards. The quickest way to fund your business is with 0% business credit cards. Typically, we see people getting between 50,000 and 300,000, and we've helped millions. So by the time we're done talking, when you fill out that application there at smartmoneyculture.tv and we call you, or you send it in, we called you, before we get off the phone, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to write up some contracts. We'll put you on the calendar to get you started. And then we'll show you how to make payment options, or either through crypto or credit card or whatever it is. Okay. Now, we also like to be very realistic when we get you guys on the phone. We know that one of three things are going to happen every single time. You're going to say, Fly, I love your business. I like the model. I see what you guys do. It's a yes. Let's do it. I love that. Or you're going to say no for whatever reason. We know that's part of the business. It's that third part. I got to call you back. I got to think about this. You folks that fill out the online little questionnaire are great people. Every one of you. I've talked to a couple that weren't, but most of you, really great people. So we know when you say, I'll call you back tomorrow, next week, next month, that's just a nice way of saying no. So we make deals. I'll make a deal with all of you guys out there. When you get on the phone with us or we come see you and we show you what we're doing and you like it and we make it affordable for you, then say, yes, I want to hire you. Let's do this. Or you can say, no, I don't want to do it. And we'll part friends. Does that sound fair? Yeah, of course. So the easiest way to get yourself funded is with 0% business credit cards. So the rarely does a human see your credit application when you apply. That's why so many people get denied, because the software that's taking your application is not so there's so many millions and millions of applications a minute that they don't update the software because they don't care. This is why so many people get these 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, you know, dollar credit cards, the kind that never go any higher. So what we found is how to make you look attractive and how to talk to actual bankers. They're called relationship managers. They're not at the local level. I'll explain in a second. All right, so I kind of gave you my agenda. But once you set yourself up for success, it's not about what you get the first time, it's what you get overall. And we got a couple of people, one guy that works for me, well over $1 million. He does $1 million a month in business. Oh, yeah. A few years ago, he was a humble carpenter. Now he's multi-millionaire with a $10 million a year business and growing. It's insane. So once we have you looking attractive to the banks and the credit industry, then we'll make the applications for you. You have to give us permission to do it, but we will, or we will walk you through it. We helped a fella up in Pennsylvania. We walked him through it. He did probably, I would say, about 20% of the work. We did the majority of it, told him exactly what to do step by step. Well, he hired us, so we did it. And he did a great job of following directions on his part that he did. And then he got himself some credit. Matter of fact, real proud of him. We asked him, he had a couple of things wrong. That you can't hide from the banks, the financial institutions. You can't hide from the IRS. Can't do it. Every purchase you make out there is recorded. Now, when you're using cash, you know, but then again, now they have face recognition. So you're paying cash. They're gathering all this data, and they do the face recognition. So it's hard to hide these days. It's really difficult. Anyway, so but he did exactly what we said. He applied for this card, was denied, which was surprising, but he was. Then they sent him a letter and said an email, not a letter, but he did get a letter, but the email came first saying, hey, you know, congratulations, there's only a couple of pieces of information. So the computers turned him down. But then somebody who was overlooking the data goes, oh yeah, this guy qualifies, and sent out a letter. Congratulations. I asked, did you get a letter? No. Did you get an email? Yeah, they told me I was denied. Is there a number to it? No. But they said in the email they were going to send him a letter. Well, a week later, they sent him a letter. He was traveling, but they sent him a letter, and he goes, "Oh, I got till Monday, Tuesday to respond to them." They gave him 30 days. Well, he didn't tell us about it till like a week after he was denied. Then he went on vacation for a couple of weeks. He came back. He had 4 days. This was a Thursday, or this was a Friday. So he had Friday, last business day of the week, Saturday, Sunday, and uh, and then Monday, because Tuesday was the last day. Well, he called on a Saturday, and the lady says, "Oh, well, congratulations." He said, "Did I get it?" And they said, "No, we'll send you a letter." Well, they sent them a letter, an email saying, "Congratulations, we approved you for a 20-something thousand-dollar card." So I tell them, don't, when that card comes in, don't activate it. Wait. Came in like, so he got in. Matter of fact, he called them on a Saturday, and then the person that he got a hold of, there was some questions, so he had to call back on a Monday. They were going to do the call, finish the call, but for whatever reason they couldn't, and he did it on Monday, the day before the last day, 30th day. He calls back on Monday because Tuesday's the last day. And what happened? They said no. Well, they approved him for a 20-something thousand-dollar card. I said, when that is there a number on that approval letter? He said no. But when the card, when the I'm just trying to see if I got it right. There was a number on the email that said congratulations. He called them up. They said you've been approved for 22,000. He says, "Can you make it closer to my revenue, or my outtake of what it costs to run the business every month?" Which was closer to 50,000. They said, "No, we can't do that. Sorry." We look for a letter in the mail. Anyway, a week later, he gets a letter in the mail with the credit card, and the letter said, "Congratulations, you've been approved for $20,000, and we couldn't give you the $30,000 increase you were asking for, but they did give him another $10,000. Wound up being over $30,000 for the credit card." Now there's some nuances. There's a few things that go inside that. Okay, besides that, but that was the basics of how that worked, and that was one of his cards. There's more of them he got, and more, upwards of about $90,000 on the first round. Now, once his revenue starts coming in and he starts paying those down, the next time he applies for cards and lines of credit, he hadn't applied for his line of credit yet, but Bank of America wants to give him a line of credit. Not Bank of America, but we haven't gone through Bank of America yet. Bank of America gave him credit cards too. It was I can't remember the name of that other bank, but they're a pretty good sized bank, and they're trying to give him a line of credit, a personal line of credit, and so those are going to be typically 40 to 80 to 100,000. Oh yeah. There's no limit to what you can get. There's stages to getting what you can get, and we had some people on Twitter on X that said, this sounds like a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, it's a get rich quick. Well, you have to know something. If they give you credit, you're not rich. It's not your money. Yeah, it has your name on it, but it's still not your money. And if you spend it, you have to pay it back. It's not like free money, it's credit. And talk a little bit about infinite banking. I've got about 8 minutes and then I'm done for the night. Tomorrow I'm going to do some more. But if you get your whole life insurance and become your own banker, the infinite banking concept, and we'll do some videos on that tomorrow. I may do them tonight, probably not. If you only put money in and pay for your premiums, it has about a 6% return. Okay, every year dividends, year in and year out for 100 years. It's been doing it. It's not going to stop. Matter of fact, the banks put in 3 times the amount of money into their whole life insurance policies than they do in any investment they have, because it's always paid out for over 100 years. It's the strongest asset you can have. Anyway, it takes about 5 to 7 years before you recover your premiums to where you go whole, so to speak, where you're not in the hole, so to speak. So it doesn't pay to put your money in there and leave it. It pays to put your money in there and borrow against it so that you can pay off the things where your money is going out that you never get to come back. What would be those things? Credit cards. It's okay to use the credit cards, but you want to pay them off. Like your house, you get your lines, you put your money in there and you borrow against it, pay off your house, or as much as you can, and then you pay yourself back, bring your mortgage down, do the infinite banking on that. Bam, bam, bam. Your cars. I got a video I'm going to play from Chris Noggle tomorrow or the next day about how to buy your cars out of your own bank and then pay yourself the interest. How about your own house and pay yourself the interest instead of the banks? All this money that goes out of your family and that you never get back. Every person in your family, from your kids to your wife or your husband, whoever asked, they should all be in they should all be in the policy. So when they die, that money goes into the policy. This creates generational wealth. This is what the Rockefellers did. That's why they're one of the richest families in the world. They're so rich they can't even count their money to this day. I believe, I could be wrong, I believe they still support over 200 members of that family out of that trust, out of their bank every year, and still do. Over 200 people never work a day. They're supported out of that for the rest of their lives. Anyway, you can do it too. I like the thought of borrowing from my own money, my future money. The insurance company is the one who loans it to you, and they still pay you the 6% or so, 5.2 to 6.6% every year. They take the risk. So the same as you make a car payment every week, you borrow from yourself, pay off the car, pay it off, and then you once a month send a check to yourself, just like you would if you were paying the car company. If you pay them, why wouldn't you pay yourself? Using this strategy here, you get to make money. Your car will make money for you if you pay yourself back. Put yourself on a payment schedule, and instead of paying The banks, pay yourself. It's a lifestyle. It's not a getting rich. But anything that goes out, go out and everything that you would pay somebody else that you can take over, take over. Your car, your house, your credit cards, your tuitions, equipment. If you have a contractor, you're buying equipment. Go buy the equipment with your money, borrow it out of your policy. Insurance companies are loaning you the money, you're borrowing it, but you're going to pay it back into your policy the same way as you'd pay. So you pay the tools off cash, and then you would pay that back on a monthly payment, just like you were financing it, except you would pay it to yourself. Wow. That's all I got to say is wow. I wonder why nobody watches this on social media, just TV. That's it. There's Bitcoin right there. What's it trading at? $63,789.99. Ooh. That's the price. Fly Mackey here with Smart Money Culture Television. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. I just love this. Thank you for being loyal listeners. I love it. When you become your own banker, you get to pay all those payments that you would have paid to someone else to yourself. That's not hard to figure out. God bless you. Have a great night. Thank you for all of you who serve our country.